FKA.
I'd sit alone and watch your light, my only friend through teenage night, and everything I had to know, I heard it on my radio.
Good evening, Gotham. Metropolis, Emerald City, Xanadu, Babylon, to the ISS, and the rest of you, live from the Pro Realty Old Town Studios, a Quantum News Network production of the Scooter McGee Show, in which I am he. Find me at 1310kfka.com. Time check, 6 after the hour. I know that because of my Bull of the Moon watch from William Moore Jewelers. William Moore Jewelers. They're right over there, 914 9th Avenue, across from the Greeley Courthouse. And remember, it's push, pull, or drag any watch in and take 25% off any Bulova between now and the end of September. Now, we have amazing deals in September. Remember, October, November, December. October, T-shirts. November, sweatshirts. December, beer glasses. So keep listening to the show. But if we're in the 40s now. The technical number is 102 because Chad and I are either 25 and 26 or 26 and 27. For your first 100 who go to Windmill Productions 914 on Facebook and like them, doesn't matter where in the world you are. Okay, well, it does. Because if you're somewhere around the world, you're getting a gray T-shirt, a gray sweatshirt, and a pair of glasses. If you want to go locally to the store, you may pick the color of your choice. But you have to be one of the first 100 people to like them on Facebook, Windmill Productions 914 over on Facebook. All right, enough shameless plugs already. It's Tuesday night. And again, all things money, so at least let's take a look at the metals market and the Monex hotline at 800-878-0881, and up we go.
The following Monex quote line prices were as of 8:07 p.m., Tuesday, September 26, 2017. Monex spot silver was $16.77, down 35 cents. Monex spot gold was $1,292, down $17. Monex spot platinum was $925, down $16. Monex spot palladium was $913, up $3.
Up again, palladium literally now pushing $1,000. And they are knocking the out of silver. So again, buy on the downs. Head over tomorrow, Another Man's Treasures, 2002 9th Street, and talk to Ron Widow. That it concludes the metals portion discussion of the show tonight. No. Carl and Ron will be here next week. I don't want to hear about it. Okay? I do now want to talk about something serious. Real estate. And before we get to Matt Rivette and our not-so-secret guest for Joe Sixpack tonight, I say that because if you're following on social media, 1310kfk.com, and passive-aggressively, and can find me, then you know. But we'll get to it in a minute here. In the 20th century, there was an argument in business. Location, location, location. We are now pushing 2020. And I say that because the article that I'm going to reference was from April for broadcasters in what could be called an industry rag. By 2020, for radio, how TV handles it will be different. The radio visual We won't be saying phone numbers and addresses anymore. You'll all have smartphones. The trick of the commercial, of course, is still to grab your attention, but now it's to have you look in another direction. Now, is that good or is that bad? Obviously way too early to say. But it's, again, another hurdle that all businesses have to deal with. Some will say that because of the digital era, that actually levels the playing field, that location doesn't matter. That argument would work if we didn't know about the internet entities that are deliberately suppressing certain types of entities, organizations, speech, etc. So, not going to go down the conspiratorial angle, but I want to talk first, through the first segment, real estate with Matt Rivette. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening.
We are pushing. Next week will be the first week of October. You'll be off, so you'll technically be on the second week of October.
Mm-hmm.
And third quarter is what it is now. Saturation, are we still at the same point, give or take 2.5 months from your last visit?
Actually, the absorption rate last...
I said saturation. I'm sorry. I knew it. Absorption rate. I knew that.
We're about 3 months inventory.
Okay.
It seems like we're getting some new construction on the market. Keep in mind, from conception to a hole being punched, that process can take upwards of 18 months to get through the city, planning and zoning, yada, yada, yada. But we are in dire need of some inventory, and it appears some inventory is going to come on the market fourth quarter.
And 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to ask you again, and I'm going to ask you in 2 weeks, and I'm asking 2 more weeks, and because I'm going to keep asking until we know, because it may or may not be a trending issue. You brought up the situation of recent foreclosures. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the last same 2 weeks since we've talked last, has that trend continued? Downward? Was it a spike anomaly on the radar? Or again, too soon to tell?
I'm going to give you the latter. But I am noticing a lot more recent loans. By that I mean the last 3 years origination going into foreclosure. What that means, I just have to think some consumers are just gorging on the debt, and they're not disciplined, and what doesn't hit the papers is the cars that are being repossessed and the credit cards that are being cut off. Of public record is a foreclosure. So that recent of a mortgage origination, I can promise you it wasn't the underwriting, because it's very difficult to get a loan. Very difficult.
Well, now that Congress is back, discussion, get rid of the debt ceiling, 20+ trillion. I pointed out to the American public what, and again, it's just a mafia term being it is what it is, the VIG. Okay, well, that's the interest on the money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are 330 million Americans, and the VIG is 377 billion. You do the math. We're broke.
Ouch.
We can't pay the interest back. We being the federal government, and they're spending according to their numbers. You know, that's what I'm saying. So judge the source. And those are, of course, all the numbers we're supposed to worry about. And we've been taking a different turn on this show on Tuesday nights, of course, with the introduction of Joe Sixpack. And the idea, and this has also been made aware for management, so that just covering my ass. Nobody's poaching anybody's accounts and stealing. Okay? But the concept is Greeley is small, SMall. Now, depends upon who you talk to. Greeley, great from the ground up, and that's the smell of money. You need your noses checked out. Unexpected surprise, Scooter. Actually, again, this year, Bob Boswell will be wearing the turkey suit. Maybe flying to a home near you. Boz is another one. You know what? Boz owes me. I'm going to call him.
Good man. Good man.
No, he is. And you know what? He'd make a good Joe Sixpack guest.
You know, he would. He was, when he owned Western Sizzlin', a true humanitarian over Thanksgiving.
Yes. No, that's why, and again, I point out, I think I shared it on this one. Yeah, he's already dotting the turkeys. And that's, again, it's a sad issue unto itself, and yet it's funny because he does such great work for the Weld County Food Bank. But the Weld County Food Bank, again, desperate need already to bring attention for the need of those who are going to go hungry this Thanksgiving without the generosity of great people like Bob Boswell, of which he is not our Joe Sixpack guest. So let's get off the subject of Boz. He still owes me drinks anyway.
How can he ever repay you?
A bottle of Jaeger will work.
Okay. Cool.
So why don't you, and we'll go a minute long, you can give a quick tease of our guest, and when we come back, we'll get into the interrogation portion of the show.
Can I say his name?
Of course.
Okay. We're honored tonight to have Phil White, Phil's Pro Auto, and he's a downtowner as of, the last year?
About, actually, it's getting close to 3 now.
3 years. He didn't like being next to a pot shop, imagine that, in Garden City. But boy, Phil's been around 30-plus years.
Yes, sir, 32.
And there's a reason for that.
Okay, now I know. I know exactly where I met you. We were standing under Luke Schultz's car.
Ah, yes, indeed.
That's where I met you. Did I or did I not? When you pulled up and said, I know I've met you before. Right?
Yep, indeed.
Okay.
Yep.
Phil's Pro Auto, of course, used to be next to Auto Collision Specialist. But yes, the ever-popular, world-famous Luke Schultz, 4 to 6 p.m. Yes, we were standing under Luke's car. That's where we met.
Yep. Yeah, we did our best to keep his vehicle on the road from time to time.
On the road from time to time, from
time
Fort
to time.
Morgan to Denver to Cheyenne.
Yeah. A lot of miles on that vehicle.
See, I'm not going nuts, Gotham. A quick break, and yes, we'll be back with Phil White, owner of Phil's Pro Auto.
Become a friend of Scooter McGee or like the Scooter McGee Show page. More of the Scooter McGee Show in a moment.
A fixture in the Greeley senior living community for over a decade, Garden Square Assisted Living and Memory Care creates an environment where moments of joy, independence, and wellness are the focus of each and every day. Nationally recognized for outstanding performance and resident satisfaction, Garden Square Assisted Living and Memory Care has 2 locations in Greeley to serve you. Garden Square of Greeley on 29th Avenue Place and Garden Square at Westlake on 20th Street just across from King Soopers. Call Garden Square of Greeley at 576-7200 or Garden Square at Westlake 346-1222 to arrange your tour today.
It's no secret, there isn't a lot of trust in the auto repair industry. According to AAA, 2 out of every 3 U.S. drivers don't trust auto repair shops. ASR's number one goal is to earn the trust of the other 2 drivers. ASR's focus is transparency, and we provide this by including an open shop policy, digital inspections, and virtual vehicle videos. ASR will show you any part of your car in person, and we will even send you a photo of any recommendations we make to keep your car driving smoothly. Check out our website at autoservicefortcollins.com.
Well, hi, everybody. Dr. Ron Caskey jumping in here with a brand new announcement. So wake up, make notice of this, and write it down. We have just begun a series of video training retirement classes. These videos, they're simple, they're fun, they're concise, they're short, and you can watch them as many times as you want. You can get to these by clicking on a link on my website, roncaskey.com, or you can type in roncaskey.com/financial. And again, these are new retirement training video classes, educational, informative. You can't get this information anyplace else. So check it out and then give me a call. 303-710-3791. Toll free is 877-218-1972. Also, be watching for our new live webinar every week.
Come to the Union Colony Civic Center in Greeley Friday, September 29th at 7:30 for 70s Soft Rock Classics. Witness 4 of the 70s most iconic acts. Pure Prairie League.
Amy, what you wanna do?
Ambrosia.
There's a new sun rising. I can see a new horizon.
Orleans.
Still the one I wanna talk to in bed. Still the one who turns my head. We're still having fun, and you're still the one.
And Al Stewart.
Don't bother asking for explanation. She'll just tell you that she came in the year of the cat.
You'll hear all your favorites and more. Get tickets today for 70s Soft Rock Classics, Friday, September 29th at 7:30 at the Union Colony Civic Center in Greeley. Call 356-5000 or visit ucstars.com.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember Another Man's Treasure.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market, and it turns out it was a good time to start. From day one, Matt Rivette had to do it right. Serve the client. Turn for sale into sold. 32 years later, we know market conditions will change, but Matt Rivette's commitment to you won't. This is a good time to get to know Matt Rivette at Pro Realty. List your commercial, income, or residential property with Matt Rivette. Call Matt Rivette at 970-356-1234 or go to ProRealtyHomes.com.
If the headlines are half as bad as Scooter says, then keep drinking. I mean, keep listening to the Scooter McGee Show on News Talk 1310 KFKA.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Welcome back, Gotham. Now, many of you may know Phil White or Philip White. Many of you may know of what was the old Phil's Pro Auto and where they were out there. You may not know a recent move. You may not. Okay, so let's welcome live and local business owner, of course, and this week's Joe Sixpack, Philip White. Welcome to the hot seat.
I'm ready.
Good. Matt, I believe, and you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, this is our first Colorado native. Of all the bios you've sent me.
Right. I had no idea.
Yeah, well, and actually, second generation Colorado native.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, my dad was born in Telluride.
Okay. And I hate to sound like Fred Willard, 62 years young.
62.
I believe I come from a very, very old school Irish mafia family. You're either working or you're in school. And they all worked until they dropped dead. And they lived very robust lives right up to the end. And I bring up, sadly, the New York bus driver who, after 52 or 55 years, was forced to retire. You know, he'd only been driving the same bus route 30-plus years, seen generations of people grow up and the whole drill, and Bloomberg made him go. And within a week, he died. And then I bring up Andy Rooney. Same thing. They made him retire. He died. He loved doing what he was. There are people who just love doing what they do. And in going over, for lack of a better word, your curricular vitae and your resume, you clearly love doing what you're doing. You've clearly been a success at it. You've made some, for lack of a better word, missteps along the way. And that's always where I want to go with what's hopefully the first best question that opens up the discussion that I gave you a heads up on the off air. Of all the years in serving, I said Denver's $1 million. Denver is small, SM all. Greeley, Greeley is SM all. Agreed?
Yes.
Even northern Colorado, Milliken, Johnstown, I mean, you name it, Weld County itself, as grand, many would say grandiose, or as grand as it is and as large and national news and the whole drill, it's still pretty small. And yet your reputation precedes you. But you've made mistakes. And the question I have is, of all the mistakes you've made, by definition, it doesn't even have to be the worst, but of all the mistakes you've made, what's the mistake you learned the most from?
Well, and actually, that one is actually the easiest thing for me to answer because the mistake was a huge one. And it happened on August 24th of 1995. That's how huge it was. It has a date that goes with it.
Wow.
And that's the day that I decided that I needed to set myself on fire. A shop accident, and I know exactly how I did that. And therefore, I also knew exactly how not to do that. But it was just, it was a bad day for Phil. And 2 weeks in the intensive care burn unit. And what I discovered was that I had hundreds of people send me cards telling me to get well that I didn't know. I really didn't realize who many of them were.
My lawyer was stunned in the same drill. I had dude, you have no idea how many people you influence until the word gets out. And then, yes, people do something simple like send a card or, hey, phone call. Are you doing okay? Hey, I know I haven't talked to you in forever. Just hope you're doing all right. We're praying for you.
Yeah, that's what it was. Now, I still remember one of the cards, and this was a guy I knew, and I know he was laughing when he signed it and did it, but he included a card for, at the time, I think it was probably Baskin-Robbins when they were still in Greeley before they just recently became back. But he included an ice cream card because he said he knew that I was probably still rather hot and I would need something to cool off from. But I learned from that I really was making a difference, and I realized that I needed to take advantage of that and continue to push on and try to do more of that.
As well as your role in giving back to the community, for example, you along with another, our other Tuesday night guests include Carl Moore and Ron Widow, of course, and you and Ron with the Optimists.
Yes.
And again, when it comes to those who are, whether they're starting businesses or whether they've been long-term businesses, there will be those who argue, is it worth it to belong to the Chamber? Is it worth it to belong to Rotary? Is it worth it to belong to Optimist? I ask you the same question.
And I would answer yes in all cases. If you put something into that organization that allows that organization to do what it does,
you get what you get out. You get out what you put in.
You get out what you put in. Yes. If you're going to make a difference, you have to do something.
Well, you've been certainly doing that up in northern Colorado for quite a while. We are 30 after, obviously, Gotham. 30 to the top. And again, see, people think, no. Again, the minute Matt said it, I don't. Again, you want to talk about ask the experts. This guy kept Luke on the road forever. But no, Matt called me one day and he says, hey, can you meet? Well, sure. No, I'm just down the street. I'll meet you. But yes, no, and the minute Matt said, I'm like, I know exactly back under the lift with the customers aren't allowed under the lift. I'm not a customer. I'm more of a distraction.
Are you listening to the Scooter McGee Show? Well, misery does love company. Stay tuned to News Talk 1310 KFKA. 1310 KFKA's First Alert Weather, powered by Denver 7.
The northern Colorado forecast, partly cloudy, cool tonight, low in the low 40s. Still cool tomorrow with a few showers possible in the afternoon, a high in the low 60s. Showers likely and cool on Thursday, just upper 50s. I'm Denver 7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson, 1310 KFKA. This weather update is brought to you by CRP 4x4, located at the corner of 9th Street and 21st Avenue in Greeley. Call them at 970-351-8603.
At Advantage Bank, we are dedicated to building lasting customer relationships as you discover the difference a locally owned community bank can make. Advantage Bank offers local decision-making, exceptional customer service, and products designed to meet your needs. Some call it going the extra mile, but for Advantage Bank, it's business as usual, and it's what you deserve. Stop by any of our conveniently located branches in Loveland, Greeley, or Fort Collins. Advantage Bank, proud sponsor of UNC Athletics and your banking partner in Northern Colorado. To see our first-class products online, visit AdvantageBanks.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's football season, and that means the Ernest Collins Jr. Show airs Tuesday nights at 6:05 on 1310 KFKA, live from Stuffed Burger Bar on the 9th Street Plaza in downtown Greeley. Join the head coach and me each Tuesday evening as we discuss Bears football. Your questions and comments are welcome on Twitter at UNC Bears Radio, #AskTheCoach. Find me on Facebook at Troy.Coverdale. Or join Ernest and me at Stuffed Burger Bar in Greeley Tuesdays at 6:05. The Ernest Collins Jr. Show on 1310 KFKA.
Here's a song for all you farmers.
Just got home from doing chores, close the barn and lock the doors. Look at all the sprinkler lights flashing across the land. Mine is not blinking, pretty soon I'm thinking, do, 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 looking out my back door. Do, 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 looking out my back door. My neighbor's lights are flashing, lighting up the sky. Mine is still and my corn is dry. Do-do-do, I'm calling lines tomorrow. Tonight I'm full of sorrow. Do-do-do, looking out my back door. Do-do-do, looking out my back door.
If your rinky won't blinky, call Alliance Irrigation at 970-616-2451. That's 616-2451.
If an injury has sidelined you from your sport, work, or family time, you want to get back out there. The physicians at the Orthopedic and Spine Center of the Rockies can help. They have 3 offices to serve you and 29 doctors who specialize in the medicine of motion. No matter your specialty, OCR has helped thousands of people just like you stay in the game. Appointments in Fort Collins, Loveland, and Greeley. Go to orthohealth.com or call 493-0112.
There's a time and place to visit one of those best in America steakhouses, but how do they compare with Kenny's Steakhouse? Oh, they're fancier, darker, ultra-formal service, 5 forks, 7 spoons, 3 knives kind of thing. But the steaks? That's where the sharp differences end. Kenny's Steakhouse in Greeley has amazing steaks, period. Dress up or come as you are, it's the kind of place Greeley likes best. Outstanding food and service at a price that makes sense. Kenny's Steakhouse in Greeley, 35th Avenue and 10th Street.
Gotta get a better angle.
John, what are you doing?
I was in an accident yesterday, and my insurance adjuster wanted me to use my smartphone to snap a couple of pictures of the damage. Then I gotta send it over to them. He said they'd write me an estimate and have the money in my account today.
Wait a minute. How could they possibly write an honest and accurate estimate from pictures?
They can't. And why would they? Hi, I'm Mike from Auto Collision Specialists. The insurance companies are at it again. This time they're using your smartphone to rip you off. I've been in the business of repairing cars most of my life. Even with my 30 years of estimating experience, I can't write an accurate estimate from pictures. When I tell you taking pictures of the damage and sending it to your insurance company is a bad idea, you better believe it. If you've had an accident, insist that someone from the insurance company and the body shop of your choice physically examine your car. Don't let the insurance companies use your smartphone to outsmart you.
Auto Collision Specialists, we'll take care of that.
You got a favorite t-shirt, right? Come on, admit it. You've got several. From killer concerts, the Grand Canyon, Vegas, and memories live in them. Create a treasure to remember with Windmill Productions. Years from now, you'll still be thanking Trevor and Kim for the attention to detail and quality that make the memories last a lifetime. Located at 813 East 18th Street, Windmill Productions on Facebook, Windmill Productions 914, or windmillprographics.com. Or give them a call, 970-702-2636. That's a reminder to hurry up. Okay, welcome back, Gotham. No, a serious discussion now, okay? Because it's one thing, and everybody has the idea. And I was talking with someone earlier this evening, and I said, look, I was very lucky. Coming out of the family I came out of now, I mean, I'd be wrapped up in a straitjacket, pumped full of Ritalin, locked up forever. But I had depressionary grandparents who pulled me out of the environment I was in. And there are 2 things in particular I will never forget my grandfather telling me. 1, I don't care if you dig ditches for a living. Find something you love, and the money will follow. Might not be a lot, but you're doing what you love, and everything else will work out okay. And the other is to learn from everyone else's mistakes because you can't make them all yourself. And we are very lucky in northern Colorado. We see businesses come, we see businesses go. And sometimes it's not even because the business wasn't a good business. Perhaps it was the wrong marketing. Perhaps it was the right idea at the wrong time, the wrong idea at the right. I mean, there's a whole plethora of reasons for why any business can go under. But once a business becomes a success, I think it's important to not only showcase who they are, for those of you who actually, in this case, okay, I'm not looking for a mechanic for a sponsor for the shows. Okay, show's not out looking for one for me either, so yeah, that's where that belongs. Anyway, but again, it goes to asking the experts. You've been in business for so long. How have you done it? When again, the average business, 50% of businesses fail within first year. The other 50 out of that, within 3, they're gone. Businesses that survive 5, that's a joke. Then we talk again how lucky I am on this show to have sponsors who are so generous. They've been doing business 20, 30 plus years. Well, maybe we should pay attention to what they're saying, what they're doing. Obviously, they're doing things right. And even when they're doing things wrong, at least they're admitting it and learning from their mistakes. Because if not, that's just the, well, A, definition of insanity, and then B, in the new Webster's version, there's an under version of the Scooter McGee Show. So I want to welcome back Philip White, of course. He is the owner of Phil's Pro Auto. Phil, shameless plug, where the new wheel, as Matt is quietly in the back nodding. Matt, I want you more involved in the conversation as you brought up welcoming you back to downtown.
You know, I'm really thrilled to be downtown. You know, my business started at 10th Ave and 16th Street, which is still kind of within what downtown calls their downtown area. I'm right there close to the college. But I really have always felt, even when I was in Garden City, I really felt like I was, you know, just part of Greeley because I've always lived in Greeley. And the Greeley community has been what's supported my business. You know, it's what's made it work.
But you grew up in Englewood, Colorado.
I did.
What brought you to Greeley?
UNC.
As a student?
As a student. I moved
We're
up,
alumni.
Yeah. I moved up here in 1973 to go to school. And in 1978...
Class then of 77, so
well,
class 78?
I managed to worm myself out an extra year. So
8 years, you might as well join the Peace Corps.
Yes. So in 78, I graduated from the UNC Business College with a marketing degree and proceeded to go through several jobs, realizing that I wasn't going to
found out you knew what you didn't want to do.
That's exactly right.
Tell me what those businesses, as many as you can remember, were.
Well, I worked for, I thought I wanted to try to get a corporate job with Montgomery Wards. Well, that was probably a good decision not to go that direction. I worked for an employment agency.
But back then it wasn't?
No, it wasn't then. No, they were a big going concern. I worked for an employment agency and did marketing for him. It was a one-man, well, with me, two-man operation. And then I worked in a finance company. And when you're the assistant manager in a finance company, that means you're the debt collector. And
so you weren't the good guy.
No, I didn't get to be the good guy. So then I moved on and decided that I would try the insurance industry. And that started because I had licensed myself when I was at the finance company.
As an insurance agent? Sorry, so now back, sorry.
Yes.
While in the financial world, you did get licensed as a financial agent.
Yes. And as
that allowed you to naturally sell insurance and other securities of the era.
Yeah. And,
okay.
And I discovered that I didn't like that either. I wasn't happy doing those jobs. And so I just kind of withdrew and sat at home for several weeks trying to figure out what it was I wanted to do. And lo and behold, a gentleman happened to mistakenly put an ad in the newspaper looking for a service advisor for his automotive business. And I thought to myself, that might be fun. I could do that. And I went in and...
As off work, your hobbies include, because they're not listed here in your...
No.
Okay. Do you like tinkering on cars? Have you been playing with cars since you and your dad, when you were 8 years old, on Saturdays, bothering him and let me play with the crescent wrench under the hood?
Actually, no. That's the odd thing. My two brothers were the car guys in our family. Even my dad wasn't.
But your hobbies when you're not working include?
My hobbies when I'm not working include working with model trains. As a matter of fact, I volunteer for the Colorado Model Railroad Museum here in town.
I know that. I love that place.
Yeah, so do I. And I like to fish. I like to. My wife would tell you I like to drive. Put me in the car, and she'll be complaining that we need to stop, and I'll just keep right on going.
Do you just use the Force and go wherever you want?
No, not really. I generally have some place I'm.
Oh, you have a destination in mind?
I generally have a destination in mind. So
I like just taking a Saturday, using the Force, and going wherever.
Go where it leads you. Yeah, my wife likes those kind of trips.
Okay.
And I do like messing with cars. But I've kind of grown past that.
To the ad. I'm sorry. I'll be nice. Was it in the Greeley Tribune?
I'm sure it was.
Okay, because we call the Greeley Pravda on this show.
Yes, I understand.
All right, just being nice. So the ad again was for an auto mechanic looking for an advisor.
A service advisor.
Service advisor.
Yes.
And back then, the year being roughly
1980.
Okay. What was that?
That was and it still is to this day. It's the person that talks to you when your car is broken, because most of the time it's not the person who's actually fixing it. So
no, the mechanic's busy out of the car. He doesn't have time.
No, so
that's why the sign says, you want to talk to us, you're paying double.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. So I call the serviceman, he's the middleman. He's the one that gets the flack from both ends. The customer's car isn't done, they're mad at him.
Yep.
The technician has the wrong parts, they're mad at him. He's the guy that has to be the balancing act in between. And I discovered that I really I could do that and make people happy. Although I think for a while, the technicians that worked at that shop, the mechanics that worked at that shop, probably
they weren't the happy ones.
No, they weren't happy with me because they thought I didn't trust them.
But 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No.
If the customers and the owner are happy, we'll get to the tax. That'll come with time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
that's how you get. So you literally come in the door by accident sideways.
Yes.
In 1980.
Yes.
Okay, so let's pick it up there. We are 47 after, 13 to the top. Yes, so the show tonight right now on Ustream should be posted. And a very special thanks to Scotty Rayloff over at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street, where it is 40% off all laptops while they're there. There's about 20 of them. And from $129.99 to $249.99, and they're all 40% off. Sorry about the frost. Late dove season, though, is what it is, so 25% off still on shotguns. A quick break, and we'll wrap up Joe's six-pack with Matt Rivette on the Scooter McGee Show.
Become a friend of Scooter McGee or like the Scooter McGee Show page. More of the Scooter McGee Show in a moment.
My dad told me cars are expensive to own and maintain, and I told my kids the same thing because it's true. If only the maintenance costs could be lessened. They can, but the trick, if you will, is to find a quality service and repair facility like Auto Tailor. Auto Tailor will tailor preventative maintenance to your specific vehicle and then expertly diagnose and complete needed repairs using top quality parts. It really is as simple as those 2 steps done well. Auto Tailor, a AAA approved auto repair facility in Greeley at 10th Avenue and 16th Street.
What does it take to ensure safety? Safety Assurance Consulting located in Kersey can provide that answer, and really it's quite simple. Here at Safety Assurance Consulting, we believe in the 3 C's of safety: communication, consistency, and control. Our goal is to keep the workplace safe by coaching others on safe work ethics. We provide services to industries such as construction, oil and gas, transportation, and any agricultural business. Call 970-356-0645 for any questions you have.
Health insurance is confusing, especially now. Learn about your health coverage options and get free help to enroll right here in Greeley. My Health Connections is your local resource for impartial in-person assistance to understand your options and, if you choose, enroll in coverage. Throughout the year, you can enroll in a health plan if you have a life change event, such as losing your existing coverage, getting married, or having a baby. You may be eligible for free coverage or financial assistance to help pay for health insurance. Don't wait for open enrollment. You may have enrollment options now. We've moved. Now you'll find us at the Sunrise Adelante Clinic at 1010 A Street in Greeley. We have certified bilingual health coverage guides available to answer your questions. We translate DC for Weld, and our help is free. Get answers to your questions and learn your options today. Call us at 970-301-4426 to schedule an appointment. That's 301-4426. My Health Connections, Greeley. Come to the Union Colony Civic Center in Greeley Friday, September 29th at 7:30 for 70s Soft Rock Classics. Witness 4 of the 70s most iconic acts. Pure Prairie League.
Hey me, what you wanna do?
Ambrosia.
There's a new sun rising. I can see a new horizon.
Orleans.
Still the one I wanna talk to in bed. Still the one who turns my head. We're still having fun, and you're still the one.
And Al Stewart.
Don't bother asking for explanation. She'll just tell you that she came in the year of the cat.
You'll hear all your favorites and more. Get tickets today for 70s Soft Rock Classics, Friday, September 29th at 7:30 at the Union Colony Civic Center in Greeley. Call 356-5000 or visit ucstars.com.
So you think the Pawn Stars are in Vegas, huh? Have you been to City National Pawn? 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley, and you're the Pawn Star. With great deals on commercial and industrial tools, electronics, smartphones, laptops, and fine jewelry. So many great deals and a constantly changing inventory guarantee you get the best deal in town at City National Pawn. Need quick cash fast? City National Pawn has got you covered there too. Monday through Friday and Saturdays, remember, you're the Pawn Star at City National Pawn, 3301 West 10th Street in Greeley.
What may be junk to you just might be another man's treasure. From stamps, sports memorabilia, silverware, or old jewelry, what may be junk to you just might be another man's treasures. Located at 2002 9th Street in Greeley, Another Man's Treasures can take these old items and convert them into cold, hard cash. Located at 2002 9th Street, remember, another man's treasure.
Matt Rivette started in real estate just in time for the bottom to fall out of the market. And it turns out it was a good time to start. From day one, Matt Rivette had to do it right. Serve the client. Turn for sale into sold. 32 years later, we know market conditions will change. But Matt Rivette's commitment to you won't. This is a good time to get to know Matt Rivette at Pro Realty. List your commercial, income, or residential property with Matt Rivette. Call Matt Rivette at 970-356-1234 or go to ProRealtyHomes.com.
Hate him? Want him to go away? Yeah! Email HR at 1310kfka.com. In the meantime, back to the Scooter McGee Show.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Welcome back, Gotham. We're with our guest, Phil White. Of course, he is the owner of Phil's Pro Auto, now located downtown. A shameless plug quickly for your location. We're coming short on the clock.
We're at 707 12th Street.
707 12th Street. And for social media, because I know you did have it for one point for the other location, how do we find you now on social media so I can link up with that? And sorry, you have my computers.
Phil's Pro Auto or philsproauto.com.
Okay.
Facebook /Phil's Pro Auto. So that'll pretty much find us. But
okay, and then if they mention my name, you'll only charge them 10% more.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That's fair.
So back to 1980. And again, as you said off air, again, you graduate. You only went back down to Denver for the summer, came back up here, take the job. You liked the job.
I did.
How do you go from being, again, forgive me because of the 1980 terminology for it, even though it exists today, What was the title of the job?
Service advisor.
How did you go from deciding I like this to I want this?
Well, that's probably the most unusual story of my business. Working for the Rocky Mountain Import, which is who I was working for, and he had a parts department, so we sold a lot of import parts to some of the businesses in town. And I got to know a gentleman who owned an automotive shop at the corner of 10th Avenue and 16th Street. One day he asked me if I'd like to buy it. And I said, no, I don't have any money. My wife and I just bought a house and we're kind of, cash poor and I need to just keep doing this. And that was kind of the end of it. Okay. Until one day he called me up, and this was probably the second week of July, because my shop was born on August 1st of 1985. He called me up, and Vic was his name, and he said, Phil, I'm filing bankruptcy. If you'd really like to have that, it was a gas station. If you'd like to have that business, why don't you just come pick up the keys?
Get the out of here.
No, that's the truth. That's exactly how it happened.
It fell in your lap.
It fell in my lap. It was, I obviously... Okay. I was
so
meant to keep doing that.
Taking advantage of that, I'm sorry. Sadly, okay, we're pushing 58 and this conversation is too good. Do you mind staying one more segment in the next hour?
No, I can stay.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so sadly, because of the mishaps of another, a tremendous opportunity falls in your lap.
Yes.
I also understand, only because when I first moved to Denver, I wanted to buy the Ironworks. Remember downtown there? Okay. And I wanted to convert it into a nightclub. Nope, no way, because of all of the, environmental impact. No way. It was not cost effective to do.
No.
Great location, would have made a great nightclub. So, gave up. Clearly you didn't. And I also understand, okay, again, the bank's fine, going to transfer the keys and all that, but gas station, you have to deal with all of those other issues. So how did you deal with all of that?
Well, I one of the things I inherited when I took over that business was the 3 technicians that were working there besides Vic, who left.
Oh, okay.
So I had some guys there that kind of already knew how that business sort of worked.
Okay.
And they made it pretty easy for me to just kind of slide right in and begin taking care of those same customers.
And you said that was 2 weeks after August 1st, 1985?
That was actually August 1st of 1985. It was when I took over that business.
Okay. I'm sorry, Matt, we don't raise hands in class. I don't know what you're doing.
I wanted to ask Phil a question.
You're supposed to interrupt and be a part of the discussion, but go ahead.
Thanks. Phil, tell us about that monologue you had when you went from a steady paycheck to starting your own business with your wife.
Okay, stop. You remember that question. I told you, at 58, the music takes over. There's nothing I can do.
I never, but I did raise my hand.
This is radio. You don't raise your hand in the talk studio to ask a question. Okay, Gotham. Phil's going to stick with us. We'll record one more segment. I'll get it up on YouTube. Stick around. No, because there's more I want to learn. And then guys on the other end, 17 after, reset. Go right to Shallow Moments, go on this day in Illuminati history, and then we got 90 minutes of headlines to go. We'll be back, Gotham. Stand by.
Snow loves to pile up on your driveway, sidewalks, and walkways. But what it hates is the watershed's supply of snowplows and ice melt. With residential and commercial snowplows and salt spreaders in stock, Snow's happiness doesn't stand a chance. New in October, the Watershed will have their special in-store brand, Get a Grip Ice Melt, so this year, there's no excuse not to have the cleanest driveway in the neighborhood. Learn more at thewatershedinc.com or just see them on the corner of I-25 and Harmony Road in Fort Collins, and now in Cheyenne. The bell rings when you open the door at the Ranch restaurant, and then the smell of good home cooking greets you. But that's not the best part of eating at the Ranch. The best part of eating at the Ranch Restaurant is the warm welcome you'll get. Something like, "Good morning, sit wherever you like." Properly welcomed, you can then choose your favorite breakfast or lunch, Greek, American, or Mexican, from the menu, or get one of the daily specials. Great value, tasty food, and amazing hospitality at the Ranch Restaurant, downtown Greeley on 6th Street, just east of 8th Avenue.
For a spoonful of...
Information makes the medicine go down. 1310 KFKA, Greeley, Loveland, Fort Collins, and Johnstown.
ABC News, I'm Dave Schreiber. Firebrand jurist Roy Moore won the Alabama Republican primary runoff for U.S. Senate Tuesday, defeating an appointed incumbent backed by President